Hello everyone and welcome into the channel. My name is Brent. We're 5 weeks into our $1,000 investment challenge, and not only did the markets go up, but we also sold off an old pair of army boots. That's going to be another win towards our $1,000 investment challenge. Let's go ahead and be checking out the progress, how you guys can get started as well. In this video, we're going to go ahead and cover grow your wealth to $1,000. We're in week 5. This is all about tracking progress, small wins, and staying committed. If you guys are brand new here to the channel, would really appreciate if you go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up. Returning viewer, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys find this content enjoyable. Drop a comment down below, and let's go ahead and get into the week 5 progress update. So previously in last week's episode, we were at $127.29 invested total in the market. Our new balance this week after investing $25 was a base value of $150. With the total market return so far being a little over 2%, we're sitting at $153.01. The shares that we were able to purchase this week were 0.045 shares, which is 0.001 less share than last week. That is just due to the market recovering and moving higher and higher and higher these past few weeks. The new total in our portfolio from fractional shares went from 0.23486 to now a big whopping 0.28076. So we are getting steadily. We're now 1/4 of the way to owning our one whole share. Down here at the bottom, we can see on the 2nd, we made our deposit there on Monday. Guess what? Market was down. We deposited our capital into the portfolio. Tuesday, we went ahead and invested it into the market. We purchased the VOO at $544.61. We can see that the current market price is at $544.97 here on Thursday after hours. Our unrealized gain is sitting at $3.01. That is over 5-week period. How often do you see a $3.01, interest in your average bank account? Say if you bank over at a traditional bank like Chase, Bank of America, or something like that, right? They often offer low interest rates. Here we have less than $200 invested with a net return of $3.01. So that's pretty exciting to see. Some little things that I like to showcase with my son. Just by doing little small steps, it can build up progress, right? So week 5 progress update part 2, we're up 0.51% over this past week, or 2.01% overall. Our total net return so far over the past 5 weeks is up 2.01%. Now, the reasons for this past week being positive is what we had better than expected inflation numbers coming out. Inflation numbers were expected to be rising a bit more than they had expected inflation to be a bit more out of control, but inflation numbers actually came in better than expected. That is also showing that consumers are being a little bit less resilient to spending. Even though prices are beginning to kind of pick up a bit, consumers are still spending money. They're still going out there. There is still a lot of the risk there with consumers spending money on credit cards and building up debt. But they're kind of hushing that off to the side, it seems like. There's also quite a few positive tech earnings that have been coming out, especially within AI and chip sectors. And the Fed has came out hinting that they're going to be pausing future rate hikes. So 2 days ago, there was an article coming out that the Fed has now kind of hinted at they're going to be pausing the longest running rate hikes in quite a while. We saw that interest rates in our past video when we were talking about our real estate investment journey. Just a few years ago, back in 2021, interest rates were around, mortgage rates were around 3%. Now, if you're trying to buy a home, that has doubled. You're now looking at rates between 6 to 7%. And with rates this high, that's caused the housing market to essentially plateau, inflation numbers and rising prices and stuff like that, right? So that is, that stock market positive. And even going forward in the future, you might even see some rate decreases by anywhere from 0.5%, 1/4%. We'll see what the Fed decides. So here we are, we're sitting at $153.01. Now, there is an ex-dividend date coming towards the end of this month here. We can see here on June 25th, 2025, we're going to be hitting our second quarter ex-dividend date. Now, if you're not familiar with what an ex-dividend date is, it's essentially on this date, the number of shares that you own, you're going to be paid out a portion of their earnings. This is in the form of a dividend. And that dividend for us, we only own 0.28 shares of a whole share. So we own a quarter of a share. So when we hit this ex dividend date, depending on how much we own of a whole share, we're going to be paid out a percentage of that, which we'll cover here on the channel. So if you're still learning about the stock market, seeing how all these little things kind of work, this is a really good way of going through the process of going through an ex dividend date. We'll go ahead and cover that. We'll see how much we get paid in dividends, how it's reinvested into the portfolio, and all of that here on the channel. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go down below, subscribe, make sure you guys are following along. Now, jumping into the progress towards our goal. Our goal is to have $1,000 up, invested and deposited by week 40. We're on week 5 being completed. Now going into week 6 here, next week. And here we can see that our base investment's $50. That is because on SoFi, the platform that I'm showcasing this challenge on, when you sign up through the link down in the pinned comment down below, you invest $25. They're going to give you a signing bonus of $25. So that made our base investment $50. Then we started doing those slow and steady $25 deposits. We can see here that every single week since we started this challenge, the market has been net positive. Green on week 2, green on week 3, green on week 4, green on week 5. This doesn't happen very often, but here we are buying back shares at more expensive prices. Now, eventually, one of these weeks, I'm thinking that the market will dip. And in that case, when our account value is going to be less than our account deposit, I'll go ahead and make that number red. I want to kind of signify that these do happen because it's going to be a learning moment. We need to get into the mentality that it's okay. We're really happy with buying when the market is going higher and higher and higher, and our money that we're depositing isn't buying more shares, right? Every time I'm buying into the market these past 5 weeks, I've been buying at a higher price, which means I've been buying less shares. That means overall, when the market steadily moves higher, because I own less shares, my net gain will be less. But it's really uncomfortable for investors when the market moves down to tell yourself, I want to continue to deposit, I want to continue to invest because they see a lot of red, they see their account value dipping. But by doing this challenge and staying consistent and keeping up with your deposits, what's going to happen is you're going to be getting comfortable with that red because your account balance isn't always going to be below $1,000. One day you're going to have $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million or more. And I've seen investors that are sitting in millions of dollars, right? And a day where they're down 2%, that's anywhere from $20,000, $40,000, $200,000 in losses. And they can't look at their portfolio and be squeamish and looking at that red and be wanting to sell because that locks in those losses the moment you do that. So by tracking and depositing and getting those, the early stages of just staying consistent, that keeps you going, like the mentality behind it, that's going to help you later on in your investment journey. So just stay committed, stay going strong, right? Now, how can you guys join the $1,000 investment challenge, right? If you haven't joined yet, what are you waiting for? Check the pinned comment down below. I'm going to have a link down below if you guys would like to download my free investment tracker. You guys can sign up using the link down below, and it'll bring you to a page, which I do not have an image of. I thought I had that loaded up in here. But essentially, when you click on, when you sign up for the link, you're going to go to a page. You can click on download, and you're going to download a tracker that looks very similar to this. It's going to be a PDF form. You're going to be able to insert and enter your digits into here as you would like, or you can use Paint or something to kind of just scribble in what your deposit is, what your account value is at. I like to use it for myself, for my son. Like every time he's saving up for a goal, it's really nice to have a visual goal of what you're depositing, what your goal is. My son just bought a scooter. He was saving up money and money and money. At first, he thought he wanted a 3D printer, but after looking at the cost of the 3D printer, the firmament or whatever number, the stuff that goes into it, right? The extra accessories that you would need to buy, it just became more and more and more. And what if you ran into issues? So he changed his goal. He got an electric scooter, which is in the corner now charging, but he had set a goal of saving and saving and saving, and he met his goal, and he bought his item, and then he put the rest of his money in his bank account because he no longer needed it to have it liquid, right? So he just kind of put it in his money account, and by showing these slow little weekly gains of going out there walking dogs, doing mowing people's lawns or doing other activities around, he was able to kind of build up and track it using some sort of tracker that we designed for him. So yeah, what are your investment goals? What are things that you're aiming for? Go ahead and drop me a comment down in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate to get some comments. I know our comment section has been super empty here over the last few weeks. I think my wife left me a comment one time in one of my videos here recently. Your challenge for this next week: try and earn or save $25 and comment how you did it. This past week, I sold an old pair of army boots that had been sitting in my garage for years now. 15 years just sitting there. They're the winter, they were spring military boots, and I hadn't used them. I believe they were pretty much brand new, some Gore-Tex ones, and I was able to sell those out and make, I think, 60 or 80 bucks from an item that I no longer used or needed. So that was one way that I was able to make some money from something around the house, and we took that money, right, invested into the stock market or invested it through other platforms, right? I have Fidelity, Schwab, Merrill Wedge, SoFi, and all of these different platforms have miscellaneous of different investments. But let me know if you guys have been able to earn or save some capital this past week. Drop me a comment how you did it. You'll be featured in next week's video. And also like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the journey. And definitely go down below, give this video a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys would like to. We're trying to hit that 6,000 subscriber goal, and that is going to be it for this video. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for the next upcoming videos, definitely drop them down below. But these videos are kind of showcase that small steps stack up. One $25 deposit and one more week invested. If you guys are not joining the challenge yet, just get started. Get that free tracker down below. Let's build up your very first $1,000 together. And be sure to drop a comment how you guys are staying invested and going strong. So that is it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.